Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Bike SA's Gary Smith took a ride past the Axe factory to check out this brand new South African hand-built quad.
And now for something completely different. Today we have a quad. Yeah, quad schmods, I hear you say. That's just a quad. But today, this quad is completely different. The quad we've got here today is what is called an Axe quad. And what is so special about it is that apart from the fact that it's made totally in South Africa, the whole quad is built in Pretoria, is that it actually uses a car engine. This particular one we've got today has got a Honda Civic Type R VTEC engine in it. That's a 1600cc sports engine that Honda use to propel motor vehicles. These guys take these engines and gearboxes and their Tiptronics and all the electronics from them and put it into a quad. As you can imagine, a quad with a car engine and gearbox and differential in it is not going to be the size of a normal Suzuki LTR or a Yamaha Raptor. It's got to be a lot bigger. For that, these guys build their own whole frames. They use their own tubing, their own welding, and they end up with what is in fact a very, very large quad. How big is this quad? Well, earlier on we drove down the road and we found the wheel tracks off of a Volkswagen Caddy Bucky. We put this thing into the wheel tracks of the Volkswagen. It is as wide as a road car, it has the same horsepower and torque as a road car, but it weighs about 1/5 of the weight of a road car. That gives me a serious performance machine. One of the crazy things about this quad, being so big and having all these massive car parts and all that, is the steering angle. You can actually turn the handlebars of this quad a full 90 degrees. Because it's so big, to get it around corners, it has to be able to turn. Watch this. If you look at that, a full 90 degrees you can get in the handle. Of course it gets tricky when you're sitting on it, it becomes a bit difficult. But to be able to get it to turn, you have to get the angles this deep. This is how far it can turn. However, once this thing gets going, once we get 80 k's, 90 k's an hour, and these things happily easily run to 80 or 90 k's an hour, then it just becomes light, it becomes floaty, and it tracks straight and true. Other good thing about a quad this size is the weight. It keeps the main body of the quad reasonably still and lets the suspension do all the work out there. At very high speeds, you can go on incredibly rough roads. We've been going up and down here today, and I got bored on the normal roads. I started looking for rough edges. I actually eventually started looking for boulders about this size and drainage ditches. I was deliberately aiming at them. And because of the width and the weight of the main body of the quad, it stands still and the wheels just move on the outside edge and go for it. Of course, the top grade shocks and that allowed this to happen. What this means is that this is fantastic for things like the Desert Run or the last Ermelo 400 off-road race, where it was very wide open, very high speeds, lots of rough ground. A big machine like this is stable, it tracks in a straight line, it doesn't get deflected by rocks or whatever. This, at high speed, is a good machine. In fact, it's almost like a sit-on Sandmaster. It feels that size, it has that same sort of handling and characteristics. It's more of a car than a quad. The other good thing about this thing is that because it's made in South Africa, the manufacturing rules have some strange things in that all manufactured things in South Africa have to go through roadworthy to get their NATIS numbers or whatever. So for this quad, this thing has had to go through roadworthy to get its NATIS numbers. These are actually now going to be road legal quads, where there's no other quad in the country can be road legal because they're all imported and they fall under a different set of rules. But strange enough, to be able to sell these, this guy has to get them roadworthy and licensed for the road. So this is one of the most unique quads in that it's officially a South African roadworthy quad. One thing about this, for a quad this size, it actually has to run on kart rims. You can actually see these motor vehicle rims on here, and they put the biggest possible Kenda bear claw tires that you can get on this thing. These tires are one of the slightest problems we have with it, in that I found a lot today it's been very muddy and rainy, At speed when you hit the puddles, these things actually aquaplane. There's not enough weight to get them through the water. And in the middle of a corner, you do shoot out to the edge a few times, and it's a very big quad to sort of be losing control of unexpectedly. That can be a little bit of a hiccup at stages. Well, this has been the sports version of Axe quads, the one that they make. It's just for a lot of fun and for messing around, and it's actually just a big hoot and a laugh. But Axe's big business is they actually make diesel versions to make utility-style quads, which are very popular with a lot of the farmers. The guys use them in places like buckies or something where buckies can't go. They make a big utility quad, they put sprayers on the back, fencing posts, anything like that. And he sells them to farmers all the way up to Namibia, the Natal North Coast. And because they're diesel, of course, you use all the diesel for the tractors and the buckies on the farm, it fits right in there. So yes, the Axe Sports Quad is the fun and games. It's a historical thing to ride. It's just so completely different. It's unlike any other quad you've ever ridden. You have to ride it in a different mindset from any other quad. It's fun, it's brilliant, it's historical. But the Axe cars do make utility quads, they do make diesels. In fact, they can actually make you anything you want. As I said before, every single part of this thing is made here in South Africa. If you need something adjusted, you need a rack on the back, you need a towage, you want it longer for two people, they can make it for you right here in South Africa, in Pretoria. Home built, homegrown, proudly South African made quads.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass.